Oh my gosh, that's disgusting. In our last video, we bought a 2009 GMC Sierra sight unseen from the auction for only $750. Then we brought it back to the shop, we went over its condition, and honestly, it's really not that bad at all considering it has over 480,000 kilometers. Today though, the goal of this video is to get this thing cleaned up and get it looking presentable. So why are we doing this? Why do we have this cheap truck here? I'm sure some of you can relate to this, but I know for me, I get way more satisfaction out of buying something that's junk and making it nice instead of just buying something that's nice in the first place. For the sake of this argument, let's just look at trucks, right? Because we got a truck here, so let's compare it to other trucks. New trucks, newer trucks that are nice, go for how much? 50, 60, 70, 80,000, $90,000 for something that can do exactly what this thing can do in terms of functionality. But those trucks are way out of my price range. I just can't afford them. But even if I could, I know if I bought one of those trucks, all I would be thinking about is, number one, here's the first thing. I pull up to the grocery store, pull up in the parking lot, and then some car is gonna pull up beside me, open their door, and give me a nice ding in my door. That's the first thing. Second thing, stone chips on the front end. We're talking about new cars, right? So your car is in pristine condition. You pull out onto the highway, whatever, a dump truck pulls in front of you, some gravel falls out and destroys your front end. Stone chips, rock chips, everything, right? And then the third thing is theft. This is a huge problem in Canada. Cars are getting stolen left, right, and center, and trucks are like a main target. So do I want to deal with that? No, this just becomes more stress than enjoyment. And for me, it's just not worth it. That's how I view it. So you get something like this, that's a piece of junk that no one wants it. And why does no one want it? Well, first thing, we already talked about it, 482,000 kilometers. Like that's a lot of mileage. We haven't brought it to the mechanic yet, but we're going to see what's wrong and how much it'll cost to get it back on the road. But let's just look at the aesthetics. Wheels and tires, junk, but we can get new wheels and tires. It has some rust on the bed, but we can treat that. Technology-wise, it has none, but we could put a screen in here. We could get Apple CarPlay. We could get a new audio system, new speakers. We can do all those things for a fraction of the cost of a new truck. And on top of that, it's paid off. It's $750, right? It's done. There's no more payments on this thing. But I'm pretty sure $750 is like the average car payment now. So people are paying, what? For trucks, it's even more. But people are paying that per month, and we've already paid off our whole vehicle. So if this thing lasts 1 month, we got our money's worth, technically. I understand it's kind of ridiculous to compare this to a 2025 or 2026 brand new because of how much nicer they are. I actually had a customer come in with the new Ram 1500 with the tungsten trim or edition, whatever it's called. And not exaggerating, no hyperbole, that was one of the nicest vehicles I've ever sat in. The interior was beautiful. Screen was really nice. Technology, features, cameras, there is no comparison. I get that. But the premium that you have to pay for that, first of all, I couldn't afford that even if I wanted to. I got the biggest loan from the bank. They still would not give me that truck. But even if I could, I don't know if I would enjoy it. Now, if you're flush with cash, go ahead. Just have fun. Buy nice things, enjoy your money. But I don't know if that's where I would put my money. And speaking of value, I actually looked up how much this truck is worth. As you can see on AutoTrader, a 2009 Sierra 1500 with this kind of mileage is worth pretty much nothing, from as low as $300 to as high as $4,300. I then checked what it would be worth if the mileage was only 200,000 kilometers, and the range jumps up quite a bit, 1,800 to 5,800. But we all know these values are always low balls because when I scroll through current listings, there is nothing available that is that cheap. It was time to start cleaning, so I moved the truck outside, and our first task was to get all of the dust and debris out of the bed. There was a surprising amount that needed to get swept up because it was stuck behind the toolbox and in all the crevices of the bed liner. After the main pieces were cleared away, we gave the truck its first wash in years. Then we moved under the hood to get rid of the caked on grime that seemed to be half an inch thick. Obviously, I'm no expert, but putting water in the engine bay always makes me nervous. So I covered the alternator and the battery with plastic bags just to offer some extra protection and give me some peace of mind. I sprayed everything down with a light mist from the hose. A pressure washer just kind of seemed like overkill. Then I use P21 cleaner to eat away at the grime. You just spray it on, you let it sit for a bit, then scrub and rinse it off. We pulled the truck back inside and began working on the interior, first starting with the dash. This is a simple interior cleaner from Chemical Guys. I sprayed it on, agitated with a brush, and then wiped it up with a clean cloth. I repeated this process on every interior panel, including the doors, trim pieces, and steering wheel. Finally, we moved on to Marilyn's favorite part, which was cleaning the seats and carpet with the Bissell wet vac. This process was absolutely disgusting. Each seat was treated a minimum of 2 times, but the really nasty ones needed 3 passes before the water ran clean. It was time to move on to the carpets. First, I vacuumed up the large, loose pieces of dirt to ensure the wet vac wouldn't get clogged. Like the seats, I sprayed the cleaner on the surface, but because the carpet is a tougher material, I used a stiff brush to agitate the cleaner. I repeated this process 2 times, and this is the final result. Now it's decision time. What do we do with this thing? Do we try and sell it, make a bit of a profit, take that money, go back to the auction and repeat the process, buy another vehicle, fix it up, clean it up, and try and flip it for a profit? We could do that. We could fix it up ourselves and start driving it around, put a nice cool wrap on it, those types of things. Or, because of my previous videos, I've been talking a lot about the first car that I ever wrapped, which was my own first car, the Genesis Coupe. I really want mine back. I saw one driving around the other day, and I'm like, the nostalgia feeling, I think everyone wants their first car back. So maybe we could sell this, get a bit of a profit, and then put that towards buying a Genesis. That would be really awesome. Like, I really want mine again. But I don't know. I don't know where this is going to lead us, but that's the fun of it. So as always, thanks for watching.